So today I'm gonna be immersing myself into the life of Brian Molko, and to start off I'm gonna do my makeup with a specific photo I picked of him, which is going to be this look. And as you've already seen, I already have the clothes. I don't know what he wore underneath, but I'm guessing from all my research he must have worn some leather pants. So that's what I put on. And I'm gonna go for that smoky eye purple look. Okay, so I'm gonna start with foundation, just to cover up all my pimples and everything.
Special needs, just 19 and sucker's dream. I guess I thought.
Okay, now I'm gonna move on to the eyeshadow, which I'll be using with this color. So let's dig in. Let me use a brush. I'm not too great with eyeshadows, but I feel like he always goes for like that smudge look, which, I mean, it's easy for me. And I think I'm gonna go for like a little under eye as well, action here. Alright, so I think that's the eyeshadow look done. Okay, so after comparing the photos, I kind of realized that his eyeshadow is a bit darker than mine, but that's okay. I'm just gonna work with it. I'm gonna add this color as well, which is a bit of a darker tone of purple, and I'm just gonna like just add a bit more of that, just kind of make it darker. Now, I'm gonna use this lipstick. Okay, and now I'm gonna do my mascara. I know he's a really big fan of mascara. Even if he doesn't have any eyeshadow or anything on, he will not leave without mascara. One thing I noticed about him is that whenever he's in interviews, he doesn't have time to do his makeup because he's hungover. He'll just put sunglasses on, and most of the time the interviewers ask him if he can take off his glasses so we can see his face, and he's just like, sorry, I don't have my makeup on. So I know he prioritizes his eyes. One fact about Brian Molko. The reason why he dresses very feminine and does makeup is because apparently he wants to excite homophobic people, and I think that's great. And so this is the final look. Pulling. Now that I have completed my makeup, I thought that an amazing way to immerse myself into becoming Brian Molko was by recreating some of his most iconic photographs. Being a part of a photo shoot and recreating his poses made me feel like I was him. It really takes you out of your comfort zone because it's not you, you're imitating someone else. At this point, I'm ready to step outside and get myself involved in a way that requires me to go through a day in his life. I have decided the best way to understand him and how he rose to fame was to go to where it all began, Goldsmiths. I began by getting to the train station, only to be told that there will be a bus replacement, which I'm not mad about. This will give me more time to get into the mind of Brian. I arrived at Clapham and hopped on a train which led me to a station called Queen's Road. I decided to get off here since I realized that it would be a 20-minute walk to his neighborhood. I wanted to get a feel for the area. Walking around this area, I couldn't help but notice that there were a lot of artists and skaters, which gave me an insight on what this area would be like. I arrived at the sign that said Drake Fell Road, and a wave of emotions hit me. Alright, so I'm at Drake Fell Road, finally, and this is the road where Brian Molko lived, and so far I got to experience the walk of entering Drake Fell Road, and from here we're going to be going to Goldsmiths Uni, which was where he studied drama, and I guess this is what his like day-to-day life was like, you know, coming out of one of these houses here. We're not really sure which one it is, but yeah, I guess, yeah, what I was saying is that day-to-day life, just waking up in the morning, going through this road and going to Goldsmiths Uni, and then going to his favorite pub, the Harp, if we can find that. And then I'll see how I feel about that. I'll see if I felt like a connection to him in the end. I decided to walk instead of taking public transport, as I wanted to get an understanding of a genuine experience. I started imagining me as Brian Molko. Walking through his neighborhood, I noticed how everything about this was very ordinary to me. The roads and houses were not dissimilar to my own. As night fell, I reached Goldsmiths. Okay, so now I'm at Goldsmiths. The walk really just made me think, like, he's obviously quite a big star, like a big celebrity, and it was just really like interesting to see that someone that I really idolize this much is like kind of living in like a area that I live. Like, it's quite similar to like how I live my life, the walk from my house to my uni, and it was kind of similar to his, which obviously that way you feel a connection, because it's like, oh, we kind of live similar lives, you know. It's like there's not much of a difference. Like for me, when I thought about, oh, Brian Molko living in London, like going to uni in Goldsmiths, like I just kind of thought it was going to be like a different area, because I've never really been to Goldsmiths before, like this kind of area. So I just kind of thought I was going to have like a different feeling. But yeah, and obviously for me, like when I was back home, like when I wasn't living in London, I always thought, oh, I want to come to the uni that he went to. I want to live life through like his shoes. I want to follow his leads, you know. And now I'm here, and it's like, wow, I'm actually going through his life with him. Like I don't know, that's crazy to me, and it definitely makes me feel some sort of connection to him, because obviously like kind of understanding where his mind was at during these days is like, obviously he was a bit depressed and all that. So I'm just kind of thinking those walks must have like been times for him to just think about himself, and you know, and that's kind of what I was trying to do too. I was like, when I was walking, I was quite silent. I was just taking it all in. So it's really interesting how you can actually feel this connection to a celebrity that you have never met in your life. So yeah, that's what this experience has taught me so far. And now I'm going to go to a pub which I'm pretty sure he's been to, and I'm going to see how that makes me feel. I found out that the Harp has changed its name quite a few times, so I was not able to track it down. However, I did find a pub called The Rose, which had been there since Brian was living there. I can imagine him getting himself a pint, spending these moments either with a friend or two, perhaps writing some lyrics for a future hit. Coming to this last location really gave me the full experience of being Brian. As I got my train back home, I sat and listened to his music while reflecting on my emotions and if and how connected I had felt to him. I learned that me and Brian Molko are similar in some aspects, at least when it comes to areas we live in, perhaps hobbies, music, and that we are both emotionally driven people. One thing that took me by surprise is how similar him and I could be. Our shared traits and hobbies of drinking, music, and being emotionally driven has made me feel a very strong connection to him that I have never felt towards him before, even after listening to his music for over 10 years. What I will take home from this is you don't need to be a specific type of individual to become a celebrity. People rise to fame from normal lives. I guess this is what allowed me to feel a connection to him. Being Brian Molko taught me a lot.